The Downtown Rams podcast is brought to you by Rams On Demand, Seat Giant, Vibe 305, and RWO, Rams World Order. Now enjoy the show.
Down the middle, to the end zone, caught by Brandon Cooks. Shoot your arrows.
It's picks. Nickel Roby Coleman
throws. Enzo caught, touchdown. Tyler Higbee. Cooper Kupp plucks it out of the air and gives the Rams the lead. LaMarcus Joyner returns to the lineup with an interception in London. 35-30. Robert Wood, first down 20. 10-5. Touchdown. LA! No, it's Goff who keeps it. And Goff goes crashing into the end zone. Aaron Donald almost beat the football there and comes away with his third sack of the afternoon. Met immediately and sacked. Corey Littleton, have yourself a day. And he gets gobbled up. Savage has to eat it as Michael Brockers picks up the sack. He's decked by Ebu Tom. Picked off. Marcus Peters strutting his stuff. Mark Barron the last 4 weeks has been a Pro Bowler.
Oh, it's picked off on the play by John Johnson.
After the throw, and we mentioned that is his 8th completed pass in his career.
Cousins sacked. Ndamukong Suh. Of all the guys, it's the rookie John Franklin Myers who knocks it out of Cousins' right hand. Todd Gurley, 20, 10, Gurley for MVP, touchdown LA!
Welcome back, guys, to another Downtown Rams podcast. It's episode 167, and I'm your host, Jake Ellenbogen. Alexis Kraft and I bring you two awesome interviews this time around. We have Arizona State defensive lineman Renell Wren coming on the show, as well as Boston College edge defender Wyatt Ray. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're just going to keep bringing you these interviews. So here they are, and enjoy. All right, guys, joining us on the show, we have Renell Wren, defensive lineman, Arizona State. How's it going, Renell? Thank you so much for joining the podcast.
I'm doing very great. How about yourself?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing great. We're excited to have you on.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I'm ready.
And to kick this thing off, I'm going to bring up something that you and I kind of talked about off air, but you are actually from my hometown of St. Louis, and you grew up here, and I just kind of wanted to ask, for you, what was it like growing up in St. Louis, and what do you miss most about home?
Growing up in St. Louis was good. For my part, and it was always, I'm just blessed to have the family support system that I have, and they were just fighting for me in order to, to go D1 because I remember back in high school when I was all about just the sports, but I really didn't play academics first. And so in order to go to the school that I attended and played at, which is Arizona State, I had my senior year in high school, I just had to bust it out and really just be hard and grind on my grades and really have to have a great ACT score in order to enroll. So, my family been there since day one, and I definitely appreciate for what they've done for me.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, obviously there's no place like home. I think everyone can agree like that. But at what age did you start playing football, and when did you realize, Renell, that you could end up playing in the NFL one day?
Right. So when I was in high school, I played both football and basketball, like I said previously. But I was more of a basketball fanatic. So in high school, I was really just focusing on basketball. But even though I played football, I just played just to play. But I started playing football when I was, say, 15 years old. When that was my sophomore year in high school, turned 16, which was in October. And really, once I started picking up that, my junior year, my coach told me whether football or basketball for college, you can't do both. So I went with football because me being 6'4", I would just be like an average, point guard, shooting guard now in college and all that. So just when I committed to Arizona State, I redshirted my freshman year, and I was a reserve lineman my sophomore year. But I realized that I really wanted to play for the National Football League my sophomore year, sophomore year in college. And despite of like the playing time and everything I had to put forth within Arizona State, I'm just blessed where I'm at now because, everybody has an opportunity to do something, a destiny to where they landed. So everything's falling in place.
Yeah. And, growing up, did you have sort of a favorite NFL player you looked up to, or did you have like a favorite team that you watched?
Man, coming from St. Louis, the crazy thing is I wasn't really like watching the Rams play, and I really didn't have like a favorite NFL team or NFL player. But as I'll say, this past season, I really looked up to Chris Jones from the Chiefs and Fletcher Cox from the Eagles because of all of us playing the nose and the 3 tag. We can really we're big physical bodies and just rushing up and causing destruction up the middle and everything, and just very versatile. So I'll compare myself to both of them.
Well,
yeah.
Renell, it is a Rams podcast, so if people shouting you out in your mentions, you'll know why. No, I'm messing with you, but no, that's awesome. no, that's awesome though. Obviously Chris Jones is turning himself into a very, very talented player, and Fletcher Cox is already one of the best as well. So not bad names. And I mean, there's been some pretty awesome guys that have come from Arizona State. I mean, as of recently, I just spoke with Kalen Ballage at last year's Senior Bowl, and obviously former Rams safety Adam Archuleta came from there. So, you guys are obviously putting out some talent. And I mean, what's it like that you're likely going to be the first defensive lineman drafted from Arizona State since 2014?
Man, yeah. What's it like? Man, I can't really explain. Just when the opportunity just presented itself, I just went after it. So me getting drafted ever since our last D lineman since 2014, I really can't put no like comment towards that. But just knowing that Arizona State can really like be put on the map if people represent themselves well and do good with competition, and sky's the limit. So
yeah. So what was your main factor in deciding to play for Arizona State?
My main factor as far as in what?
So what when you decided where to play in college, what was it that ultimately made you choose Arizona State?
Right. So my top 3 was Arizona State, of course, Michigan State, and Purdue. And I only took my visits to Purdue and Arizona State. But the reason why I chose Arizona State is when I took my official visit, I just loved the atmosphere, just being able to see everybody, cheering on a football team, like 70,000+ students, and everybody compared to me playing in high school with just like 100 to 150 people. It was just outstanding. And then just talking to the football players, meeting with them, and just going on campus, I just fell in love with it. So I just took my best bet. And then here I go.
Here you go is right. And, obviously with that being said, you played in a lot of big games in college. What would you say is your favorite one of them?
My favorite person I went against for college team?
Favorite game.
Favorite game. I would say this past season against Michigan State.
Yeah, and I guess also, I'm curious, who was the toughest guy you went up against in college?
Toughest guy I went up against in college. I really can't even give you a name. I can give you a team, but I really can't give you a name because, not like cockiness or anything, but really I was just like majority of the time I was a standout. So me just like trying to overpower people and just using my strength to get to the quarterback. I wouldn't say a specific team, a specific name, but a specific team, I would say San Diego State. They came full throttle.
Yeah, well, that's definitely that's a different answer than we've gotten. Normally, we'll have somebody be like, "Oh yeah, that one guy that really, and a lot of the time is they can't really remember the name either. So that's kind of the funny part. But obviously you were at the Senior Bowl. How was that whole experience? What was that like?
That full experience was great. It was a very stressful week, but it was great overall. Just being able to have interviews with different organizations and just performing and showing what I can do in front of these coaches and everything. And then with just another opportunity of going to the NFL Combine and having the coaches see you up front more and having more questions, it's another great opportunity. So, the best is yet to come. The recent Senior Bowl was outstanding for me. I came in there and did what I had to do and show the coaches more of what I can do on the field. So.
Right. And obviously, like we mentioned, you went up against a lot of good competition playing for Arizona State. When you go to the NFL, you're going to play against a lot of great competition as well. Who are you most looking forward to sacking in the NFL?
Man, if we play against Tom Brady, I'll look forward to sacking him for sure.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
We've gotten that a lot. I think he's got a target on his back with the young guns coming in. But with that being said, what would you say is your biggest strength as a player, Renell?
My biggest strength as a player is taking that first step and getting off the ball. A lot of coaches love my explosiveness and being able to cause disruption in the middle. So just my explosiveness, really, first step is my strength.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would agree with that assessment, just having watched you play and watch tape on you. And what's a question that I like to ask, because I'm always curious, is what is something that you're most looking to improve on as the NFL draft approaches?
Okay, so when I mentioned that my biggest strength was like being explosive, causing disruption, I wouldn't necessarily say my weakness, but something I just need to work on really is prove it to the coaches that I can do it more than a couple plays, that I can do it like consistently. So I'll say that's the biggest thing. It's just proving to coaches that I can do this more than one time or do this more than a couple times, giving them my maximum effort.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I do have to ask you, because you have, a really talented player on the other side of the football, for Arizona State that's entering the NFL. And obviously that's N'Keal Harry. I mean, what are your thoughts on him? Obviously you've seen him in practice. You've seen him in games. He's been huge for you guys in games. Not saying that you haven't been huge in games either. You guys, both playing, complimentary football. But, what are your overall thoughts on N'Keal Harry and his journey to the NFL?
I love N'Keal Harry. That's my brother, man. Really, he's very competitive. He'll get mad if you don't catch the ball in practice. He'll get mad if you don't catch the ball in games. And his toughness is just outstanding. It doesn't matter. He doesn't matter who lined up against him. His job is to beat his defender and, to do what he got to do to, help the team win. N'Keal is actually going to the Combine too, and I definitely can't wait to see him because it's definitely been a long time. And for him to declare, it's a great option. A lot of people declare, I wouldn't say just based off themselves, but, just more out of comfortability level and just, talking with over the parents and coaches to, do what's best for them. So, yeah, the best is yet to come for N'Keal Harry as well.
Yeah, and, speaking of the Combine, we are a LA Rams podcast, so we got to ask, have you met with the Los Angeles Rams?
I think I talked to a couple scouts from the Rams from the Reese's Bowl, and I think I'll probably get another interview with them at the Combine. But I really haven't, I spoke with a lot of scouts at the Reese's Senior Bowl, but who's interested in me, we may never know at the draft day.
Well, we certainly hope that you meet with them, and I'm going to assume that they're going to be all over you at the combine, as I'm sure a lot of teams will be.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. I got to take care of business down there for sure.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. And I think really, like you've said, I mean, you're not really sure who's into you. And, I mean, that's really kind of the common theme. It's a hard game of chess, basically, because you have all these big NFL bigwigs in one spot, for the Senior Bowl.
Exactly.
And it's like you don't want to show your hand. So sometimes, you could meet with a player, and just because you need to get that extra little bit of detail and finish your scouting report. And, other times you don't want to, show any bit of interest in a player. So that way, other teams don't know that you're interested. Like everyone seems to know about, certain GMs always somehow, leak their hand, and it's not even like in a strategetic way. It always seems to backfire. So you never want to do that.
Right.
It's going to be a lot of fun, watching at the combine for sure. I mean, what are you most excited about, at the combine?
I'm most excited about the bench press and the 40-yard dash, really. I'm really excited about the 40-yard dash. Man,
not putting you
if
on
I
the
were to
spot
give you
if
I give you a projected time, and if I do if I use my fundamentals and go detail to detail, I can really run possibly from anywhere from a 4.89 to like a 4.95.
Oh wow, that's good. I mean that's really good.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yep, that's the goal for sure.
Yeah, I agree. That's good, and we certainly will be watching you this coming weekend at the combine. And I guess just to wrap it up, who would you say, in your words, is Renell Wren as a person, and who is he as a player?
Man, I'll say for both. I would say a man who is very humble, a strong believer of his faith, dedicated, a leader, and willing to serve.
That's awesome.
Hey man, we're looking forward to watching your journey as you enter the NFL draft, and we'll be following you. Let's keep in touch, and best of luck. Obviously, stay healthy.
For sure. Yeah, that's the most important thing. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, of course. I always love to have my fellow St. Louisans on here, and guys who are making the city proud and who are going to represent the 314. So definitely wishing you the best of luck. We'll keep in touch, but definitely, proud of you and everything you're doing, and I can't wait to see where your career takes you.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you guys calling and giving me opportunity to get interviewed by you guys. It's a blessing.
Absolutely. Our pleasure, and we're honored to have you. I mean, we think you're somebody that's going to end up going really high in this draft, and regardless where you go to, I think you're gonna work your tail off, and you'll be making plays on Sundays. It's that simple.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I appreciate you guys.
Absolutely.
Yep. Take care, Renell.
All right, thank you. Take care.
All right, guys. Joining the show, we have Wyatt Ray, edge defender from Boston College. How's it going, man? Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
I'm doing great. How about how are you guys doing?
We're good. We're excited to have you on.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I'm excited to be on. I'm just looking forward and really excited for the opportunity of having the opportunity to compete at the NFL Combine. So we leave out tomorrow, so I'll be looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's going to be a lot of fun for sure, and we'll have fun watching you.
Yep. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, of course. It's definitely going to be an experience to remember, and just to kind of start this thing off, at what age was it that you started playing football?
I started playing football sixth grade. Before that, I loved basketball, but I really got into football at sixth grade. That's when my mom allowed me to play tackle football, and started played for the city league team in sixth grade, and kind of just ran with it ever since.
That's awesome. So you played high school football at St. Thomas Aquinas in Boca Raton, Florida. I mean, that has really produced more NFL players than any other high school in history. What was it like playing there?
It was really just a humbling experience. Every time you walk through the door, just to see, former greats like, Philip Dorsett, Giovanni Bernard, LaMarcus Joyner, guys who are in the league right now and, are having a big impact on their respective teams, just to be able to go to the same high school as those guys and kind of follow in their footsteps. It always gave me a lot of motivation every single day. So it was definitely an honor and a privilege to be able to attend a school like that.
Yeah, for sure. And then, you go from attending that school to then playing at Boston College. So what was the major factor in your decision that ultimately led you to choose to play for Boston College?
I would say that, definitely the opportunity to play early and get on the field early as a freshman definitely had a lot to do with it, along with the fact that Boston College is a very prestigious academic school, and that was very important to me and my family as well. So those two factors, along with, just an instant connection with great teammates and a great coaching staff, really kind of just really influenced my decision to go there. Even though it was far away and, me being from Florida, I wasn't sure what those winters were going to be like, but now I definitely know how they are. Not a fan, but hey, it all worked out.
Yeah, as someone from upstate New York, I can kind of resonate with you there. I'm not really a fan of the winters here either, not even in the slightest. But, with that being said, what is your favorite memory from playing, college football?
My favorite memory? There's so many, honestly. I mean, there's so many both on and off the field that, I just got all in my head. I'd say my favorite team memory was definitely winning the Quick Lane Bowl my sophomore year. We all just kind of came together towards the middle of that year. We had a big win down at NC State that kind of turned our season around, and we were able to rally and, win 5 of the last 6 to end up being full. Went on to win that bowl game and to give us our 7th win that year. It was just a great experience because that was the first time that our team really kind of clicked. And, that's where, it was a bond was formed that will never be broken. So that was definitely probably my team memory.
Yeah, and speaking of your team, you played with guys like Harold Landry, John Johnson III, Cameron Moore, Will Harris, and Lucas Dennis. What was that like?
Playing with those guys, those guys aren't just great teammates. They're my great friends to this day. Just playing with guys like that are really your best friends. It really makes it a lot more fun when you're out there on the field. You got your brothers behind you and alongside you, supporting you. So yeah, it was definitely an honor and a privilege to play with great players like that.
Yeah, without a doubt. And when you look at obviously the talent there, you guys are a pretty storied program, and what is it like when you're in college and being around the coaching staff and being around your teammates when you see somebody like a John Johnson playing in the Super Bowl? How do you kind of take that all in?
We also look at it as motivation. John came from the same place we came from. He came up just like how we did. So we see him. Obviously, we look at him. Kind of like big bro. A little. Obviously, he's a little bit older than us, but just looking at him and where he's at and where he's done with his career is definitely motivation for us. That we can do the same thing and follow in his footsteps, if not better. So, yeah, we definitely love to see our guys succeed because it's definitely motivation for younger guys like us.
Yeah, and playing at Boston, you played with a lot of incredible players, but you also played against a lot of incredible players. And who would you say is the toughest player that you went up against in college?
Once again, the ACC has so many high level players. Played against. I was fortunate to play against a lot of good guys and be able to field a lot of great athletes. my freshman year, I remember we played a Florida State team that had, Jalen Ramsey, Dalvin Cook, guys like that. And those guys were, electric players, game changers. Bradley Chubb, he's as good as they come. Guys like that. From this year specifically, Greg Dortch from Wake Forest, he's an electric player, makes a lot of plays for them. Ryan, quarterback from NC State. So, yeah, there's a lot of good guys that I was fortunate to play against, and wish them the best in their careers, and just honored to be able to play against them and be with them.
Yeah, of course, and you're obviously you're on a fast track to the NFL. It's coming up real soon, and it seems like you're ready just talking to you. But who are you looking forward to, if there is anyone, sacking the most in the NFL?
Who am I looking forward to? Honestly, anybody would be great to sack. I don't care if it's I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Tom Brady or anybody. The opportunity to get an NFL sack would just be incredible. So I don't have a name for you on that one. A sack is good for me.
Good answer. As a player, what would you consider as your biggest strength?
I'd say that I bring a lot of skills to the table. I can rush the quarterback. I can play the run. I can drop in coverage. I can do whatever coach would ask for me. I'm willing to do. I'll run down special teams. I'll do whatever they ask me to do. Anything just to help the team win and help my team be successful.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about there. What are you obviously, because you have many strengths, but coming into the NFL, what are you looking to most improve on? As the NFL draft approaches.
I definitely think I can learn a lot from older players, veteran guys as well as coaches. Just to understand the game, continue to keep on becoming a student of the game, and just continue to keep on improving my football IQ, and just to really solidify that whole mental aspect of the game. So that's one thing I'm really looking forward to, just learning from older guys that have been there and done that before me.
Yeah, of course, and we got to ask. We are an LA Rams podcast, but have you met with the Los Angeles Rams or talked with them yet?
I've talked with a lot of teams. I'm not going to get into all that, but, every team that's reached out to me has been great, and I'm just looking forward to the process at the Combine, so we'll see further on that.
Yeah, of course, and then you mentioned the Combine, and, we talked about this a little bit off the air, but, what are you most excited, to take place, at the Combine? Any drill that really stands out, anything like that?
Honestly, just the opportunity to attend the NFL Combine is just a blessing for me. I'm going to take in every part of it. So every drill we do, every interview we do, just the whole entire process from stepping in the door, just being around a lot of great players. I'm looking forward to the whole process. Even though I heard it's cold in Indiana, I'm looking forward to it.
You don't like the cold, do you?
It don't bother me anymore. I was weathered by it in Boston. I'm good now.
Yeah, I'm sure you got plenty of experience with cold weather in Boston. A question that I like to ask is, who would you say you are as a person, and who are you as a player?
I'm definitely I'm a very determined person in everything I do, and that's the same work ethic I bring to the football field. I'm a competitor. I'm a very competitive person, and I bring that same edge to the football field. So that's just kind of my mantra. That's how I am, and that's how I live my life, both on and off the field. So.
Hey, I mean, we love that answer, obviously, and we really appreciate you giving your time, and we know how busy it is, and it's obviously you have to get ready for the Combine, and we don't want to keep you this whole time, but is there anything before you leave? Is there anything you want to shout out, or anything you want people to check out? Any of our listeners?
Honestly, just be on the watch for BC football this year. They're putting a great young team together, and just be on the watch for those guys to make a big impact in the ACC this year.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, we really appreciate it, Wyatt. We'll be in touch, and we'll keep rooting for you, regardless if you end up in horns or not. Once you come on the podcast, you're a fan for life.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. You guys have a good night.
You too.
Yeah, you too, Wyatt.
All right, have a good one.
Take care, man. Hello, listeners. Thank you so much for tuning into the podcast, and we hope you guys enjoyed. But most importantly, if you're still listening, that must mean that you're interested in partnering up with us. Well, if you're not, then we understand if you want to click out now. But if you are, listen. We are open to any and all opportunities to partner up, Downtown Rams, business, whatever. Just email us at downtownrams@gmail.com. Or you can message us on social media. Again, any and all inquiries whatsoever, just let us know, and we'd love to work with you. Take care, guys. Horns.